What's going on, everyone? This is Cadman Cycling. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are in the world. And if the weather's nice where you are, hope you've had a chance to get the bike off the trainer and ride outdoors a little bit. I know I have. For those who are maybe in the winter right now, hope you've been enjoying Zwift. And for those who are new here, welcome to the channel. We're really all about fostering the Zwift community here. We have some Zwift Race breakdowns like this one today. I also share some information on some of the Zwift maps in my other videos, so welcome, we're glad you're here. But for those who have seen my videos before, you know exactly where we are today. We're back at Crit City. This is my favorite place to race. These short, quick races, I think, are the most fun. Oftentimes they lead to group sprint finishes, which is exactly what we have here. So this version is 9.8 total miles. We're going around the bell lap, so that means this gravel section is uphill, and then we'll eventually, when we reach the cobbled section, that'll be downhill in this direction we're going around Crit City. So just a little bit of background coming into this race. This is actually my first Zwift race in about 4 weeks. The weather's been pretty nice in my part of the country. So I took the bike off the trainer, got some outdoor rides in, but threw it back on the trainer for this race. So I've been about 4 weeks without Zwift, still been training a little bit, but kind of interested to see how this race goes. Since I've just been kind of doing some joy rides, haven't had any racing experience. Now we're hopping back into Zwift to see exactly how it goes. Really, compared to other Crit City races, this one wasn't a crazy fast start. I am in category C, as here we go down that cobbled section I was talking about earlier. I'm in category C, so Zwift has 4 categories, A, B, C, and D, so based on how many watts per kilogram you can put out over a race. So I'm a category C racer. And really my goal and strategy at Crit City is just stay with the front group as long as possible. So this race we have 28 people, 28 riders, which isn't a whole lot. I've been in Crit City races with 80, maybe even 100. So 28 isn't a whole lot, but generally you'll see a big pack at the front, and the goal the entire race is just stay with the front. The second you get dropped from these races, they're so short, and once you lose that lead pack, there's really no coming back from it. Really, when you have these large groups at the front, it's just, the draft is so crazy that if you ever get kicked off the back and lose the draft, the race is pretty much over. There's no coming back from it. So strategy going into this race, as we're just finishing the first lap here, is stay with this front group. We can see it is a pretty large group. So out of 28 people, this group has more than 14 riders in it. Looks like maybe 18 are left after the first lap. So that's kind of the same strategy everybody has. So just finished the first lap. Really not feeling bad here. My heart rate's under 170, which I don't think it's been that low through the first lap of a Crit City race ever, at least not that I can remember. So the heart rate's staying low, but I'm starting to feel it in my legs. So I think maybe I have, like, my fitness is a little bit better now, but my legs aren't quite as strong being away for 4 weeks. So just out of the first lap, that's kind of my first intuition. That doesn't change my strategy at all. So my strategy, as I'm using my drafting boost here to just try to stay with the group through this roller section, my strategy, it stays the same. I just don't want to spend time on the front. That would be wasted energy. But I just want to do everything I can to stay with this group as long as possible. So in this video, I'll show just 4 of the laps. So out of the 8 laps at Crit City, I'll show the first 2. We're on the second one right now, and then I'll immediately jump to the last 2. Crit City gets so exciting the last couple of laps because a lot of times you get these group sprint finishes, which is actually exactly what we'll see here. So without spoiling any more of the race, as you see, some of the riders actually disappeared there. There was a weird glitch on the second lap where going down that cobbled climb, the riders disappeared for maybe 10 or 15 seconds. So I just kept the watts going, and luckily I was able to stay with the group. It must have been a Wi-Fi issue or something. It all the riders eventually popped back up at the bottom of that cobbled climb, but I was happy that that didn't affect my race. So like I said, jumped forward, 2 laps left. So lap 7 out of 8. I got the steamroller power up, which is actually nice to use on this gravel section. So it doesn't slow me down at all. And I actually accidentally find myself out on the front here. I think this rider in front is a lapped rider. I did not at all mean to make this effort. I'm still at 200 watts, so trying to dial it back down. The last place I want to be is on the front. But lap 7, I'm happy to still be with the front group. So you can see my heart rate, top left corner, is now around 190. So it went from 170 at the end of the first lap to 190. So I really am starting to feel it. My legs have been hurting the whole race, so I'm just happy to still be with this front group. And at this point, I see we have about, it looks like a 1.5 minute lead on the chase group. So my goal kind of in the middle of the race was stay with this group as long as possible to build that lead in front of the chase group so that even if I get dropped, I'll still be able to finish before that second group. But now with 1.8 miles, obviously I'm doing everything I can to stay to the end. Here, it's really starting to get strung out. Second last lap, the pace is increasing. I almost get dropped here on the cobbled climb, so it's me and these other 2 riders kind of found ourselves with a gap to that group ahead. So obviously I know we can't get dropped here, so I started putting in some effort just at the bottom of that cobbled climb, and we are able to find ourselves back on this group. The cobbled climb I found is a great area to put in effort when you're going downhill. A lot of people kind of coast down the hill. I even coast all the time down the hill. But if on like the second half of that hill, when you're getting towards the bottom, if you push through the bottom, you'll find that a lot of riders at the bottom of that hill actually kind of let up. And if you push through the bottom, you'll be able to make up quite a bit of ground. It would also be a good place to make an attack. I'm not much of I don't make a lot of attacks as a racer. I'm usually just kind of happy to stick with the group as much as I can for a sprint finish. But if you are a rider who likes to put in attacks, that would be a great place to do it if you're on the Bell Lap in Crit City. But here we are. This is still the front group. It looks like we have about 12 riders here. So still almost half the riders have made it on this front group. But just over a mile left now. And I get the arrow power up. So arrow power up is perfect for the sprint, but I also want to make sure I make it to the sprint. So I'm still not sure when I'm going to use this power up. We'll see how this lap goes. I'm giving it everything I have here. So my heart rate's around 190. I really don't want to get dropped in this section. I think this is an easy place to get dropped. So I'm 350 watts, which may be too much here, but really just want to make sure I stay with this group. Doing really everything I can to make it to the sprint finish. And overall, I mean, I'm in perfect positioning. I've had a few times that I almost got dropped, as you saw on the last lap, or accidentally found myself on the front. But I think overall, during this race, I've done a pretty good job of staying in the middle of the pack and using as little energy as possible. But here, I kind of see it starting to get strung out. My heart rate's up to 192, and I use my aero boost. And kind of my thought here is, if I don't make it to the sprint finish, there's no point in having my aero boost because it won't do me any good. So I use my aero boost just to make sure I can get to that sprint finish. Unfortunately, it didn't quite get me back onto that front group. So all of a sudden we're it looks like 2 seconds behind. Again, I have three riders that also realize the same thing. So we start to put in the effort to try to catch this front group, and it's only half a mile left at this point. So strong effort. It looks like it's getting very strung out, but we're actually going to catch back up with this group. 0.4 miles. I mean, we put in a huge effort. We now have to try to recover and then immediately sprint. But we're back on the front group, so this is the sprint for the win of the race. So I'll do my best to try to recover for a few seconds, but starting to think about the sprint, I'll kind of hang back, and when I see someone go, I'll kind of snap as quickly as I can. My legs are tired. I'm not sure what sprint I'm going to be able to put out, but I find myself in perfect position here. 800 feet left. Really exactly where I want to be. Some of these guys start sprinting, and I'm at 174 watts, 200 watts. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I wait too long. Now I put in the kick, but there's only 200 feet left. I get up just above 700 watts, but I really waited too long. So I kind of messed up that finish. Wish I would have went earlier. But check ZwiftPower. I do get bronze, so third place. I'm pretty happy with it. 4 weeks away. I just really wish I had another chance at that sprint finish. I just waited too long to go. Once a gap opened up, there was kind of no coming back from that. But thanks everyone for watching. I love doing these race breakdowns. If you enjoy, please go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for being here, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. This is Cadman Cycling. Have a good one. Bye.